Good morning, Miami. Thank you for being here with me today. I have my good friend, Nat Pizarro. She's a wonderful lady. She wears a lot of hats, and she's a wonderful entrepreneur. And I want to share a little bit about her with you guys. I think you will enjoy the story very much. So she has a company called Growing The Pizarros. And coincidentally, we met actually, I met her on Insta, and I saw her beautiful jewelry. She makes gorgeous earrings and necklaces. And so I met her through there, and she always had a smiling face. And then I met her through Virtual Moms Collective.
Yes.
So welcome, Nat.
Thank you so much. I feel so honored to finally be here with you.
We finally made it happen.
I know. My goodness. Schedules are crazy, but I'm glad to be here.
I know you're a busy mom.
Yes,
You have a beautiful daughter.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much.
And you have a wonderful husband.
I definitely
He
supportive.
is a very supportive husband. When she does all her lives on Insta regarding her jewelry, her husband is in the background helping her out, which that's amazing.
Yes, I know. I'm like, I feel like that's like so dinosaur. I'm like, sure, there's like a technology out there that can make it happen, but I love having him behind the scenes and helping out.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about you. I know you're from Miami.
Yes, born and raised in Miami. Went through school throughout those years, and I love it here. I mean, I don't know. I love the beaches. It's home. You know, don't get me wrong. I like to fly out of here and feel some coldness and ski and stuff, but this is home for sure.
Home.
Yeah.
And did you go to college here, or did you go to college somewhere else?
Yeah. So I did. I went to Miami-Dade, and then
Go Dade.
Yes, and funny enough, that's when my career actually took off. So I called my agency my university that I worked for. It was an agency that was here in Miami for quite some time, Crispin, Porter & Bogusky, which is abbreviated as CPB. And I was there for like 8 years, and kind of, I laugh because I'm like, well, this is better than any university because I got my hands really into that world, and I found my passion of doing like project management, doing events, doing activations, and really seeing things come to life, right, from beginning to end, which kind of like trickles down to what I'm doing now. So it's been fun, and so since that I was doing that since 2003, that has always been in my realm of background is doing marketing.
So it's your baby.
It's my baby. It's what I know.
And you do it so well with Growing the Pizarros.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me share a little bit how Growing the Pizarros started.
Oh boy. I'm like, do we have more than 30 minutes here?
I know.
But it's funny enough. This was a journey that my husband and I decided. We got married in 2006, and then as any couple, you want to enjoy life. You want to start the next step of having a family. So we started going through that journey, and unfortunately, I had 4 miscarriages until I realized, okay, well, I'm going to have to see a specialist and see what's going on with me. And sure enough, they did some genetic testing on me, and I have a translocation with my chromosomes that are inverted, 4 and 16. So that's what's causing me to have the early miscarriages. So I thought, wow, this waiting room, I'm talking about 2012. So not that many people talked about infertility. It was very, very like soft-spoken compared to what we're dealing with now, that everything is on social media and everybody talks. But this was something that I was thought, wow, I would love to educate people of kind of like our journey, and maybe it can open opportunity for others to kind of connect and feel like it's okay to go through this. We sat on the sofa. My husband's like, let's blog about it. And I'm like, blog? Pfft, I don't know how to blog. And he's like, I'll write. And I said, okay, fine. You could be the writer because I'm not no writer. I can create what you want, but I can't write.
I could share all my emotions, but...
Yes. So that's when we sat there and we're like, we're growing our family, growing the Pizarros. So,
which is a beautiful last name.
I thank you. So so Pizarro's our last name, and we were growing our family. So that's kind of like where that started. And we started blogging about it. People were following along. People saw that I ended up having one healthy embryo. that healthy embryo stuck. We were like excited to be pregnant and have our family. And we didn't want to know what the gender was. So that kept people more on their toes on wanting to know, like, what are we having? And sure enough, we were surprised that we had a beautiful little girl named Sabrina.
I know.
And at that time we said, let's stop blogging. We're now parents.
Let's enjoy.
Let's enjoy. And so we did. It was, we had her first birthday. It was such a beautiful celebration. And then just shy of her second birthday, this is where I get emotional. But, it was, we just came through this year. This will be 10 years. But just shy of her second birthday, she unexpectedly passed away. And, there was a lot of anger. I know. Thank you.
You know how I feel.
I know. She was just shy of her second birthday. And there was a lot of anger and disappointment, and just as to my faith, I'm like, why did God bring her here and then take her back? Like, it was a lot of that anger in me. It was very hard to understand, like, why was this happening to us? But with the community, with the support, we had a beautiful GoFundMe that people supported us in because they knew what we went through. Going through IVF is very expensive. But we used those proceeds to get a commemorative bench in her honor at Fairchild Tropical Garden.
That's right.
Yes.
Is it a butterfly? Is it
so it's in so if you go to the park, there is a section 11, which I always say God's timing, but section 11 on the map, and then it's the outdoor, like, native butterfly garden, and we were able to get a bench that sits across these two beautiful, like, iron butterflies. So to kind of go with the butterfly feeling is that, we released butterflies in her honor at the funeral, and we just kept seeing all of these beautiful butterfly signs. Like, if you go to the blog, there's a whole, it's growingthepizarros.blogspot.com. That's how old that blog is. But you'll be able to see, like, where I was able to document a lot of different things the stages of that, and also share the butterfly meanings and behind these God incidences that I kept finding. One of my favorite is that when we did the commemorative bench reveal, my dad, he's walking and his sweat on his back is like a shape of a butterfly.
Wow.
We're like, that is really weird, And then you're just like, am I overthinking? But I'm just taking this as she's just giving these little signs, right? So my husband and I did a lot of, we did EMDR therapy. We read a lot of books. We journaled. We wrote. And we finally decided to do IVF once again.
I know. And I met your doctor at my office that we did an event to introduce. Well, he's very well known, but
yes,
to
Dr.
talk
Christie.
about talk about it with other people that are going through the same thing that you.
I'm like, to this day, he's a little angel sent from above. Like, he really supported our family during that time. He really was like, if and when they're ready, like, have them come see me. And he helped us through that process again, and going through grief and trying again. And sure enough, the same stats happened again. I get one healthy embryo, and here I am with a beautiful little girl again.
What's her
Anna
name?
Sophia. And she is 8 right now.
A little cheerleader.
Yes, she's my little cheerleader. And
when you're having all your lives, she's always in the background cheering on her mom.
Yes.
And she comes on.
Yeah, she wants to try on everything.
Everything. I love it.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's truly amazing. But she has been what we feel is like what's hope, right?
Amen.
And she gives us life every day. I laugh because I'm like, God wouldn't give me what I can't handle, but he definitely got me distracted because she's full of energy and full of life, and we're here for it. So as anyone during the pandemic, I was in my marketing world for a while. The pandemic hit in 2020. I lose my job, which is like, oh my goodness, like July of 2020.
Happened to all of us.
So I was like, what do I do now? Do I need to find a job? Like, and I went to church, and I prayed over it and I said, God, just give me something, a sign. Like when I'm very crafty, like I love, I'm very creative, how can I do something that I can still be home and be present? My daughter was only 2 at the time.
Right.
And I just felt like maybe this is a second chance of being a mom, right? Like this is, I feel a present mom, right? Before I was working insane hours. So I said, what can I do? So I ordered a random kit on Amazon.
Thank you, Amazon.
Thank you, Amazon. And got there like in 2 days. I started dabbling with this like polymer clay. I think it was like molding clay. I don't think it was real clay. I laugh every time because I burnt it to crisp for the first time.
Trial and error.
But I was so determined on perfecting my craft. And I started dabbling on Instagram because at that time, obviously, I'm not working, but I want to get my nails done. I want to do like, things, so how can I pay for my stuff? And so my husband's like, see how it works. So I threw it on Instagram, trying to sell a few earrings. The demand was there. People wanted it.
They're beautiful.
And what I kept wanting to make sure that I do is that I constantly tie it with a meaning and purpose, right? It ties into my family, and I just pray and hope that it can relate and support someone else to feel that comfort when they wear these pieces. And I think that that's where the connection came.
And there's other moms that you connect with that do other types of jewelry, and then you collaborate with each other.
I love
to have one piece that, works with each other, it complements each other with that same principle, right?
Yes, yeah. So I definitely have a few friends that I love to collaborate with, and then and I'll talk about it in a little bit, but a big one that I'm like so happy that I've been able to do it.
This is a big one.
But so with that, my husband was like, keep doing it. I was doing really well, but he's like, by the end of the year, this is cute, but, get a real job in January. And I was like, oh no, I don't think so. This is really fun. And I'm like, being able to bring in some income, and it's been supporting. And of course, it was an amazing 21, 22, 23. Like it was like back-to-back years of markets and pop-ups and getting out there.
And you met a lot of women, like Virtual Moms Collective, which you were part of the board.
Yes, I'm a product chair. So that was something that came in 21 as well. She stalked me on Instagram also. And she's like, we need to talk. And
when she came for her interview, she was wearing your earrings.
Of course she is. She better. But she reached out to me. She loved our story, and she was like, you need to be part of this board, part of my community. And that was something that I think my word of the year that year was like community. I really wanted to start building up connections and community. And that's really opened up that door. And honestly, I take a lot of, credit to Virtual Mom for giving me these different opportunities, getting my jewelry at Martha of Miami. Like I was able to get my domino earrings in her store. She was able to help me with that. And then the big one is with Kendra Scott from Brook Pines and Kendra Scott Dayland. So these opportunities have just opened up tremendously. And I have to say thanks to Denise and Virtual Mom Collective, because
she's wonderful.
She's amazing. And she really has a big heart.
Yeah, she has a humongous heart. And I know there's an upcoming event now, right?
Yes, Bridging the Gap, which is this Saturday. It's a masquerade.
At Love Story?
At a Love Story. Yes.
That's
from 11 to 1.
It's beautiful.
I'll be there. It's basically either like, as we wear a lot of masks, right? So
yes,
this is just going to be as moms. So this is going to be a great uplifting event to support other women and moms and mompreneurs. And we give grants to these small businesses as well.
I know
so
you do. Each event, there's someone that gets a little bit of something, else, and they never know, and it's a big surprise.
And I'm like, I'm already
excited. They have no idea.
Already excited for this Saturday, but so that's been. So that Growing the Pizarros, it's funny because when people ask me like, what is Growing the Pizarros? And it's so hard to really nail down. And, it's been one of those things that it's our story, it's our journey.
It's a legacy.
It's a legacy that I want our family to continue doing together. And I love giving back, and especially like we just did on her birthday on September 2nd. I kind of make it my own. It's not like formal, but it's like National Give Back Day in honor of Sabi. And my daughter this year was like, Mommy, I want to give sprinkle cookies to sprinkle and deliver it to a few neighbors in our neighborhood. So since she was going to be turning 12, we did 12 baggies and we delivered cookies at the neighborhood and stuff. And
you have those sprinkle earrings. Remember the little purple ones?
Yes. Yeah. So it's like birthday earrings. I do.
Everything you do in Spanish, eres muy detallosa. You're very inclined to detail.
Yes.
There's a connection to all your earrings, like this ones that I'm wearing. She was, I follow her on Instagram. She was in Italy, and then I saw them. I'm like, oh my God! And she says it looks like a tile that I saw.
Yes.
In Italy, and you were having such a great time with the whole family.
The whole family. It was
so there's
fun.
always a connection to your earrings, to something that you're going through.
Yes.
And it makes it very unique and very special, with a great energy, right?
Yes.
Because when things are done great like that with your heart, you're giving energy back to those people that are wearing your earrings.
Yeah, and that's that symbol of like hope and peace that I want people to feel. Because never in a million years did I ever think that my life would turn into this way, right? I thought once I had my daughter, like life just goes on, right. But I always say I feel like the butterfly. I live in many, it's like there's so many stages of the butterfly, so I'm basically living like the butterfly. Like there's a different journey in each one. Like I had my life with Sabi, my life without her, my life with her sister, and learning to keep her legacy going.
I admire you a lot because I have had family members that have lost their loved ones and a child. And when I learned your story, I was like, how do you smile every day? How do you always uplift other mothers? And I admired that so much because that's, I think, the greatest pain any mother could go through. So I admire you so much. I'm very proud of you. I think you're a wonderful person. You're an example that you could get through it. Yeah. And you've been doing that. And now you're also helping the Nicholas Foundation.
Yeah, Nicholas Children's Foundation. It's an umbrella that I've been with Nico's Promise. They're a foundation within the hospital if you lose a child at the hospital, they have a social worker, therapist that will connect with you and offer free bereavement services for the entire family. So it's not just for the parents that lost the child, it's for the grandparents because they're dealing with like even a double loss, right? They lost their grandchild and they're learning how to support their grieving child that lost their child. So that's something that I'm very passionate about, and I love what they've been able to do to support other families, and any which way that I can to support them in fundraising, I will do. And that goes to like with any connection of a foundation, right? So that's why I feel like I'm very like that community connector that my best friend told me that she's like, that should be your new title. And I'm like, I guess, right? Like I wear many hats, many masks, no pun intended, right? But, it's something that I really, I feel passionate about. And, even with your foundation as well, like it's something that's very beautiful, and seeing your passion in it, it just fuels my passion too to support. So
we had just met.
I know.
And I called and I go, I'm having an event. Can you come? And he goes, oh, but I have another event. But I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. Yes.
And she surprised me, and she made the color earrings of the ribbon for liver.
Yes.
And I didn't even ask her to do that.
Yeah.
She did her research. She did it. And it was so touching. And she made me a special one with a butterfly and little green
stones.
bees. Stones. So she connected a little bit of herself with a little bit of my foundation. Yeah. And it made it very special. Yeah. So I'll be wearing them soon because I'm going to Washington.
Yes, I'll wear them.
And I'll take a pic so you can post.
Yes, please.
And you always find a way to connect two people's journeys together.
Correct.
And I think at the end of the day, what you're doing and what a lot of other women are doing, Wonder Women that are doing with foundation helping, is creating hope. Yes. And I think that's what you're doing. When you look at the earring, it's a hopeful piece, right? There is, you are able to find joy at the end. Maybe not the joy that you expected,
Yeah.
but you are able to live in joy again.
Yeah, it's like that. I always kept saying, I'm just trying to find my joy, trying to find my joy. And it's like, it's a different joy.
It is a different joy,
It's not going to be the same joy that I had, right?
Understandable.
That it's a different joy. And this is like a fulfilling joy. It's healing for me. And like what I tell people is like, as simple as your random act of kindness on September 2nd for Sabi, like getting those messages, what they did, it's so like weird to buy somebody coffee, a random person, right? Like, but it's getting you out of your comfort zone to do something that you don't know if that person behind you might be battling cancer. You don't know if that person just lost a loved one and you just gave them a smile for that day. That to me is that what made me feel like I received so much from everyone. Strangers, prayer cards, blankets, notebooks, that I felt, wow, people that I don't even know gave back to me and my family.
Wow.
So what way can I give back, And that's kind of like my way. And
service.
Act of service.
Act of service.
Yeah.
So now you have the Kendra Scott. So
yes.
How did you connect with Kendra Scott? How did that work?
Oh my God, Denise, of course. Virtual Mom Collective. Okay. Gonna drop that one again. But she, it's funny because she's the one that was like, hey, Nat, since you're the product chair, we're thinking of doing an event for Virtual Mom. And, what do you think about, if we host something there? And I kept saying, me as a product chair, it's kind of, to me, I felt like, oh my gosh, it kind of feels like a conflict of interest. Like we're selling jewelry and we're just supporting Virtual Mom, but how can we tie myself in?
Right.
And one of the biggest things is that I've been, since these past 5 years, last year I started doing workshops. And the workshops have been something phenomenal because I feel like I have time to sit with people and connect and create a craft that you make yourself that you can take home. So I already had this under my umbrella, right, of an experience. And I told Denise, I'm like, how about we propose to the store if I can host an experience there? People can come and make their own pendant, and then we can add it to a Kendra Scott piece.
Wow.
Doesn't come easy, but we had a few meetings, a few pitches. I felt like I was on Shark Tank for a minute. And I'm like, I'm not here to like compete or anything. But they, I guess, after conversations, they said, absolutely. They loved our story. They loved the meaning behind everything. And they said, absolutely. So
beautiful.
I was able to have my charms. So like kind of like a piece that I'm wearing today. It's a Kendra Scott necklace.
That's beautiful.
And then I added a custom charm to it.
Beautiful.
And it collaborates with that, right? So people love Kendra Scott. I mean, everybody that knows Kendra Scott love her stuff. And adding my piece to it is just
kind of... And now everybody's going to love you.
Yes. So we did our first event around Mother's Day at Pembroke Pines. It was phenomenal. And then just in July for Sabi's Heavenly Versary, we did an event there, and I gave back to Nico's Promise. So she offers this Kendra Gives Back. So anytime I do go to her event, attaching my pendants to her pieces, I have to attach it to a foundation. And I thought, how amazing is this that I could just connect with other foundations with the support of my pieces. So obviously for Virtual Mom Collective, I just had my normal beautiful pieces like the butterfly. I had a cloud. I had a heart, something very tied into us. And then for Sabi's anniversary, I did more like seashells and beachy because she was my little mermaid, so I did. And I made a custom sand dollar butterfly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So so I'm like, for instance, I would love to do one, with your Believer.
Thank you. I really
And of course, we can add the bees, we can add the green tones. Yes. Like, there's already so many cute ideas, and so people can purchase a Kendra Scott piece, and then they add their pendant to it, which will be beautiful. So,
and what a wonderful thing that Kendra Scott is doing.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Hopefully one day I'll meet her.
I hope you do too. I hope you do too.
She's so amazing. I love how her story is very similar to a lot of entrepreneurs that start from home, which like me, I call it my babe cave, right? So she had her own little babe cave as well, and her story is very unique and inspiring. And I just hope one day, I could get to...
You will.
There.
You will. course you will.
And I don't know which way, because I always say, I'm like, Growing the Pizarros wasn't supposed to be a jewelry line. So I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. Wherever it takes me,
you
I'll
know
go.
what? God always has a plan.
Yes.
And he never fails.
Never.
So where you start one way, it ends up in another way, but he opens different doors.
Yeah.
So
I know. I just feel
you're
like
just
I
in
just keep
one of
opening
them.
them. I just keep opening.
There's another door and another door. And that's the beauty of faith in God.
Yeah.
That when you think a door is closing, there's another one opening up.
Always.
So look where you're at today.
I know.
I remember you were doing parties and, get women together and they all picked a piece and you taught them how to make their own pieces.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things I wanted to add in there too is that I don't promote it too much because it's you'll see it on my stories or on my reels, I should say. But one of the biggest things I wanted to make sure when I do these workshops, I want it to be intentional. So no matter your faith, right?
No matter.
They always say, as long as you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains, right?
Yes. Amen.
So I have a jar of mustard seeds. And when we do these workshops, I ask everyone if you would like to plant the seed into your piece. I have to say, almost everyone always says yes. Amen. And, I tell them, I don't need to know your story. If you're not, unless you want to open up. But I'm here to just pray privately and quietly with you as I plant that seed in there, right? And there's just something so special and meaningful that connect these people that are able to now wear this piece and remind themselves why they're wearing that piece and hope that that seed grows, right?
Amen.
Because they're seeing it and watering it, right? Every day to just remind themselves about it.
And if you remind yourself every day and you
It's
put
like
all that positive
manifestation,
energy,
right?
you manifest it. Yes, that's exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful.
And I hear, beautiful stories. People tell me, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, or, thank you so much, X, Y, and Z. And that just warms my heart. Like I love to hear these stories and connections and stuff.
Since I met you as an entrepreneur, you have evolved so many ways, which is so important for the upcoming entrepreneurs, that you could start one way, but that doesn't mean that's the way it's going to end up. You also have to move.
Yeah, flow like the river, like my friend tells me.
Flow like the river.
I'm like, gotta just roll with it. Like,
right.
You can't just be like, oh,
no, this is the only way I want it. No. You have to be open-minded and let the flow go and see where it takes you, right?
Definitely. Like these past 5 years have been so amazing, right? But we're in a time and place where it's hard and a lot of work and a lot of creativity that needs to go into it. That, I ended up getting a remote marketing opportunity. And I was very nervous about doing it because I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen to Growing the Pizarros and my jewelry? And I said, I think this is a season where it's like, it doesn't have to be a pop-up every weekend. Right. It could be something that once I feel inspired again, I could go back into the cave and make something really special. Right. These events at Kendra Scott are very special to me because I'm creating something specific for that event. And it's, the seasons are now coming. So I felt like, summer was nice and quiet. Now we're going into the holiday season, which is a little bit warm and fuzzy. Right. So, maybe I'll get inspired again and pop in for a pop-up here and there. But I'm really enjoying getting my feet back into the marketing world and working on some really cool clients and seeing where this takes me. And you never
know where that's going to take you.
Right. So that's why I feel I always have that backbone of Growing the Pizarros and jewelry. Right. I still do workshops. It's more convenient because I can schedule it in advance, and it's great. It's great.
So if someone wants to reach out to you or buy a piece from you or want to create a piece because they want a memory of something of their journey or what they're going through, how can they reach out to you?
So on my Instagram, I am Growing The Pizarros. It's 1 Z 2 R's with an S at the end. And then my website's the same thing. It's growingthepizarros.com.
And I always ask this question. We don't have a lot of time, but
I'm telling you, we could be here all day.
all day. For the future entrepreneurs, what advice would you give them?
Just do it.
Just do it, right?
I mean, just
Like Nike.
like
Just
Nike,
do it.
right? That was
Just do
no pun
it.
intended, right? Oh. No, but like, just don't be afraid, right? I think it's like that. Just, I hope that this gives you a nudge. This was not an entrepreneurship that I thought I was gonna have, and if it's something that's been brewing, if you're passionate about it, if it gives you comfort and peace, and you feel good about it, definitely do it. You know,
Don't have that regret at the end.
Yeah, like I have zero regrets from, going through this journey and getting my hands nice and clayey, and
And it was a healing process.
and it's so healing, and that's why I love doing these workshops, and it gives a pause and a disconnect, like truly.
Thank you for being here, Nat.
Oh,
You know I love you.
I love you so much. Thank you, so
I love
much.
you, and I love your jewelry, and I love everything you're doing. And I know you're making a difference. You have made a difference in my family, as you know. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Today, I was listening to Robin Roberts, and she said something in her prayer, and she says, she had an interview, and she says, focus on the fight, not the fright. And I think she's a prime example of that. She focused on the fight and not the fright, because she probably was very scared.
Oh, yeah.
And very worried, but look at her. She fought through it, and she's sitting here with me with a smile on her face, and thank you for that.
Aww.
God bless you and your family. Thank you for being here with me today. Always believe, always be hopeful. Thank you to the wonderful community newspaper and the Miller family. God bless you all, and until next time.